And we are following breaking news from the live desk now, and we want to go live now to the chief, who is discussing the fire on the northeast side of Grand Rapids. Let's listen in.
Building, but things have progressed slowly, it sounds like, and so at the time there is no active process going on in this building.
Was anyone hurt in this fire?
No. Very quickly, our battalion chief recognized that this was going to be a major fire, just based on the size of the building. Called for a second alarm. We had 12 of our units, basically 12 of our 15 units on scene. We did have some stuff early on where the building has collapsed. The walls are falling in, the roof fell in, but we've kept, our crews have done a good job of we've kept them and themselves out of the collapse area. We do have some issues with power lines down in the area, and may have an influence on power in the area here in the near future as they try to isolate it out.
What was your main concern with this fire? There's a lot of buildings in very close proximity to this one.
Right. We call those exposures. Anytime you have buildings, based on the size of the mass of the building, we had a lot of fire, and you've got a lot of embers that are coming off, especially as the roof was falling in and different things. We had units out working actually in the neighborhoods. They were patrolling in the neighborhoods, and we were looking for hot spots. So
you guys had collapse zones set up. Can you explain what that is?
Anytime that we have a building that we are worried that the roof's going to come in or the walls come out, we actually move the crews back away from the building. The idea is if the wall fell out, that they wouldn't be in that area. That's when we establish a collapse zone. So we move our people back. We had to reposition some apparatus that were early in here, apparatus being fire trucks, and we had to move them back away from the building also.
How long, I know you can't really say, but we're getting a little bit of rain. How long do you think it's going to take like a fire like this to be completely out?
Well, I don't think the rain's going to have a whole lot of impact on putting it out. We'll be here throughout the whole night.
How big is this building?
The building itself is probably about 100 feet wide, and it's a couple hundred feet long. So it's one of the big, older manufacturing buildings here in Grand Rapids. And so fair-sized building. It's kind of in on a funny angle with the railroad tracks running behind it.
Because it was unoccupied at the time, we assume, any idea about a potential cause?
No, we'll have our investigators checking into that, but at this time, there is no process that we understand going on in the building, so there shouldn't have been any issues with that.
And what is the reason why it burned so quickly?
That's, I think part of it is it's Sunday night, it's an area, not a lot of traffic. I know when our crews arrived that they said the fire was already through the roof, so definitely fast moving. A lot of these buildings are heavy timber. They have a lot of wood floors and stuff, and so the components that hold up the building become very much part of the fire.
Building not occupied, but does the city own it? Whoever owns it, do they know yet that, or have they been contacted?
Yeah, we've been reaching out. One of the things with not having a business in there, we're making contact, trying to make contact with some of the developers and talking with a neighboring building. They had some contact with some people, but as of this time, can't give you a lot of information on the owner of the building.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
All right, and we were listening there from the command officer on scene, updating us on that fire there at on the northeast side of Grand Rapids, a situation we're, of course, continuing to follow. We have seen this fire progress from what you're seeing now from video from earlier in the night. Those were the pictures that started off this scene. You could see flames jumping from the building, huge plumes of smoke, and now those flames appear to be under control, though the fire is still working. They're still working to put those flames out. We're going to stay on top of the situation throughout the night. Again, it doesn't sound like there's any threat to the people that live in that community, which of course was our primary concern. We'll be updating woodtv.com throughout the night. And of course, stay with us on our social media platforms as well, Facebook and Twitter. We'll keep you posted as this situation develops. Live reports on Daybreak starting at 4:30 a.m. Right now.